maybe a new computer. We will begin momentarily. Sorry, I need some water. It's getting out of control. The last USB device we connected to the computer malfunctioned, and Windows does not recognize it. It just randomly does that. Great. Are we still connected? Now.
Wow. Not a good computer day. Wow, that's amazing. The fastest castle ever. I'm gonna do that too. That is amazing. I'm surprised he even knew that was legal. It's literally the fastest castle ever. Wait, we could have castled move one. Oh, that's crazy. We could have, like, pre-castled. Oh, that's so cool. Castling without moving any pawns. Oh my god. How many Chess 960 games setups is that possible in? Not sure if it was even a good idea, but I couldn't resist. It looked too cool not to do that. Now what do I do? He has the same dilemma. Because it's a mirror image. Alright. Okay, what are we gonna do with this guy? He wants access to d4, and we've got to consider our bishop on a1. I played c3. But I've got this inviting outpost. I mean, he can have his open bishop all he wants, but I mean, what's he going to do when my knight goes into d5? I don't know. I started to kind of have a voice problem here. A little water? It's easy to play weird openings when it's just 960. Chess? Oh man, shaving. Yeah, I forgot about shaving. I mean, ever since, like, I got quarantined, I gave up on that. I never had a reason to shave. I don't even go outside. But now the quarantine is over, I might have to start thinking about it again. So here's the plan. This plan doesn't fully work yet. Depends on what he plays here. Tying myself in knots. He copied my knight a6. I love that. You never would have played that on your own. You realize. Troll never puts his knights on the side of the board. He completely copied me. I've never seen him put a knight on the side of the board prior to this game. Get original. Get original, man. How's the knight d5 square? He's a traditionalist. How's my queen on e1? Very active there. Maybe my knight should go back. Back to the side of the board. The king's gambit. Man. Welcome everybody. I don't know why I'm losing my voice. I thought I was finished with COVID. Chess 960, this guy only controls the center and he's very classical. I've never seen him put a knight on the side of the board. He only did it because I did it and he copied me. That's the point. It's not that we've never seen a chess knight on the side of the board. It's this particular opponent who has an absurdly classical kind of approach to the center. I've never seen him put a knight on the rook file in my life. Alright, whatever. Here we go again with perfect control of the center. Knight takes, pawn takes. Okay. I'm not going to let him play d5. If I let him play d5, like black's just... It's freaking Botvinnik. Like black is just better. Botvinnik, a rather classical dude. This is disturbing. This is disturbing. I hate Chess 960. I don't know why I agree to play these games. The more I play Chess 960, the more I hate it. It's funny. It was the only like variant that I was willing to play, but it just gets worse and worse all the time. Materialists out there probably go for queen h3 check here. But I lose coordination if I do that. Feels rather overrated. Materialists unite. People are just way too materialistic in general. Sometimes I'm not materialistic enough. He might see it. Check. No longer available. We've already castled, for those of you interested in that facet of this game. But I mean, queen h3 might be a useful move. He'll probably play h5. What's this rook doing on d1? Nice rook on d1. All my heavy pieces are bunched up in a little group here. The dark squares are kind of sketchy too. I don't like this dark square diagonal. If it gets traded off, the dark square bishops, I have a tendency to be weak on the dark squares. Probably I need to get my queen in here to mop up some of the weakness on the dark squares. Queen e2, queen d2. Queen d7 doesn't really do anything. He's just trying to connect his rooks. Queen d2 is better though. I mean, it's a very, very nice scope for this piece. Troll is a traditionalist. I was thinking ultimately I can play for now that I have better control of the dark squares, I can play for f4 myself. Queen a5 doesn't really do much. I could try to bust him with b4 though. Actually, b4 is very aggressive. It's very risky too. Damn, I'm running out of time here. I don't know what to do. This might be a good move. Oh, he's gonna play queen g7. I didn't realize what his plan was. Or not. Well, it's so tempting to sack a piece. Thought my COVID was done. Wow. Bishop e5 looks bad. That's weird. Why not pawn takes? Yeah, b4 was interessante. So now I have to take with the bishop because queen g7 pins me up. Oh, he just unexpected move every time. What's that about? Ooh, he'll try to play queen f8 and bishop h6 and skewer me. That'll take a while. I like his knight and his bishop on a8, and mine isn't great on h1 either, but still, it's two pieces for the price of one. I mean, I have like a really what's he doing over there? Oh my god. Screw this. Doesn't go for massive liquidation. Is a check. Didn't play it. Super knight. Nice bishop. Alright, it could get out though. It can get out. It will get out eventually. Damn it. D6 check. Doesn't do anything. What happened? Black resigned? He's resigned for no apparent reason. Oh, he hung a knight. A bishop, whatever that is. I didn't even see it. I just didn't even think about it. You shouldn't have resigned. I don't know if I would have realized the bishop was hanging. I'd have... Finally, the IM that doesn't play bullet. Oh, man. You know, I'm a bullet virgin. Look at my account. I'm the only title player on Lichess who doesn't have any bullet games. 0 games. By choice. Don't get me started. But, sadly, I was very proud of that fact. But this German chess streamer started to set up some match tournament, and just last week I was invited to play in some kind of streamer match battle where we're gonna have to play Rapid, Blitz, and Bullet, and I'm gonna lose my Lichess Bullet virginity. I'm against Bullet on principle, but the guy's organizing a tournament where we have to play 1+1. I mean, it's not totally absurd, like 1-0. I try to teach people not to play Bullet, because it's addictive, it's adrenaline, and it's not about chess. And I just hate watching grandmasters hang pieces. Yeah. All right. Watching people hang pieces like mindlessly is really a waste of time. Life is too short to play Bullet. All right, let's get another game on. But another chess site in another galaxy far, far away. I have played Bullet games before. Sadly. Analysis stream tomorrow night, yeah. With no Bullet chess. Why I'm coughing again. I'm out of quarantine. Yeah, it's nice to see someone who appreciates the fact that I don't play Bullet. There's not enough people like you. Alright. So, E4. Need to play more weird openings today. Aliakin. I'm not going to play Knight G8 because I played that last time. Working on the Aliakin a little. He instantly takes. C takes is more dynamic. Knight F3 is an unusual move. But not bad, I guess. It's not that unusual. It's not the main line. No, it's not that unusual. All right. Yesterday we faced a good variation. Knight C3 and B3. Knight C3, Bishop E3, and B3, which is probably one of White's best lines. You're too old and too slow to play Bullet. I'm surprised that I see like 70-year-old people doing it. I mean, lifetime Blitz players. But I don't get the Bullet, man. I don't understand why it became so popular. Blitz is okay. I don't want to tune into a Twitch stream to watch somebody hanging pieces, and like just pre-moving idiotic moves. It's a serious waste of time. Interesting setup. Queen D2, Bishop G4 no longer a problem. What are you gonna do? I mean, I could still play Bishop G4. I think I probably played this against you before. I mean, Bishop G4 kind of makes sense. Then again, like, attacking the center kind of makes sense, too. I don't know if this is, like, a real variation for white. There's also Bishop E6. Interesting move. Probably D5, Bishop G4, Knight D4 there. Anyway, there's not enough time to analyze this. This is in as much detail. I don't know about this. I don't even know if this is theoretically played. It's kind of nutty to try to castle queenside with your C and your D and your E pawns all up, I mean, it's like castling queenside in in the Marazzi or something. You know, it's rare to castle queenside in the queen pawn games because you've played c4 and d4, and oftentimes e4. It's like he's trying to castle queenside, but I mean your king can never be completely safe on c1 here. You moved up all your pawns. That's really, really dangerous. I can take on d4, open the e-file. Probably not the greatest move. Bishop f5 is possible. Knight c6 is most natural. It's a lot like the Scandinavian I used to play, which I quit. What does he think about Hikaru claiming he's the best bullet player in the world? I thought we were playing Rapid and Blitz here over the board. He's a strong Rapid and Blitz player too. He has lots of bronze. That's pretty funny, man. Bronze and silver medals. I mean, honestly, you know, it always surprised me that Hikaru got as far as he did, to like #2 in the world. It's pretty surprising. Normally, players like him who focus so much on bullet and blitz, I mean, just for that reason alone, I really didn't think he would get to that point. I mean, we knew back, like the last time I played him in, say, 2003, when he made his GM title, I mean, he was always known as a blitz player. So it was kind of surprising that he got that legit in the first place. Normally, players who focus too much on blitz never progress as much, and I think Hikaru was kind of an exception. It's surprising he got as far as he did. You know, he must have really made an effort. I didn't follow his career that much, you know, honestly, around that time. I think it's exceptional that Hikaru got as far as he did, given how much blitz he played. The classic sort of thing would have been, well, he'll never be a great slow player because he plays too much blitz. I mean, normally that carries some weight. Hikaru sort of proved to be an exception. But I think at the end of the day, you know, Magnus is kind of right. Yeah, I mean, it's unclear how many books, you know, I mean, it's interesting discussion, Zen chess. We can all speculate. Um, like, who's older? Hikaru is older than Magnus. We can all speculate as to how many chess books Magnus and Hikaru have read, you know, and what they claim to have read or whatever. I don't think that Magnus, like, poured over, like, all the classics. Maybe as well, you know, who knows? I mean, how much did Magnus, like, classically study versus playing, you know? It's not like he's an old school grandmaster. He basically learned by playing, or learned with engines and programs and chess base, and probably studying a lot of, you know, using a lot of programs like chess base, for example. I don't know. I can't imagine like Magnus sitting at a desk like studying old school chess books that much, either. To be honest, it's an interesting question. I'm sure he's been asked this question. You know, I would be interested to know like how many like physical books Magnus studied in his development versus just playing online and stuff. All right, I don't know. So what's up with this position? That's the question. What is up with this position? I don't know. I can't believe Hikaru's. I couldn't believe he made it second in the world. It's one thing to be a great blitz player. I don't think he can maintain that anymore. There's too many strong guys. Even if he tried, he couldn't get back to second in the world at this point. In Blitz and Bullet, yes. Man, there's so many strong players now. What is with my opponent, man? He's brutally strong. I don't remember now. How did Hikaru do the last time he played in the candidates? Remember? I remember a while back. It's been so long now. I think the bullets gotta hurt you in the long run. Somehow Magnus manages to separate the time controls. You know what I mean? That's the skill that's hard. No, I remember. Didn't Hikaru play in the candidates at some point? Not so distant past. Yeah. I don't understand how my opponent is 1800 in Blitz. He's so fast. He's going passive though. What happened? He started going really passive. There's just so many strong players now. It's ridiculous. Knight f4. The sheer number of players over 2,700. I mean, how many are there now? It's like a ridiculous amount. What are there, like 100 players over 2,700? And there must be so many. It's so weird to think about. Like, in the 90s, you could count them on like 2 hands or something. Feels like he's actively playing for a draw. But I noticed that Ripon's weaknesses is, of course, the endgame, where he doesn't have much confidence. But I'm not better here. Jesus. How is he 1800? This is crazy. Oh man. He loses a piece on that. Did I miss that last move? I missed it last move? No, I was in check. It only happened now. It's a totally drawn position. What a game by White. Played like perfectly the whole game till he loses a piece on a random tactic. He only made one blunder, of course. He was winning at one point. Whoa. He's winning? What? Wait, has bishop g5 or what? f4 wins? What? I thought about this, but I didn't think it was a big deal. I just moved my knight away. What's that? That's strange. I saw bishop c4. I didn't like it, but I still didn't see why I would be lost. So bishop f3. Why am I lost in this position? That's weird. f4, knight c6, bishop f3, okay. I just don't have a square? Like queen d6 or something? I'm dropping a piece there. That's so bizarre. Oh, it's like a freak situation. Why is queen d6 losing? Knight takes c6, queen takes d2. Knight e7 check, king f8. He wins a pawn. Bishop takes, look at that. King e7, bishop e4 check, and I'm just strafed in the middle of the board. King e8, check, bishop e6. I'm losing a pawn at least. Yeah, but it's plus 6.5. I'm virtually getting mated. What's with the opening here? So there's literally no games from this position. Gergach Attila versus Krijan. Krijan, a Hungarian player who, one of the few who ever plays the Alyakin. For years he played it. So you see, this is amazing. Here, wow, look at this. Repun playing one of the engine suggestions. Now it's dropped down to number 4. What a weird situation. Like queen d2 is just number 2 stockfish move. Now it dropped down to 4. But 84 games in this position, and it's only been played once. Only by Gergach Attila back in 09. That's so strange, man. And Krijan played bishop g4. Bishop g4, knight g5. But I thought, you know, White could let me double the pawns. You could go crazy here. Play something like h4. But you played like that before against me. Knight g5, apparently a good move, though, leaving my bishop out to dry. That's very strange. Repun invented his own variation against the Alyakin. 5 inaccuracies, 2 blunders. Astrobate presented a disaster. For tomorrow night is our subscriber stream. I'm going to take some challenges here. I'm going to put this in our weekly study. I'm going to take some more challenges as advertised. Sada Masagana, wow. Long time no see. Study. You know, so nice game there. Repun, inventing your own theory against the Alyakin. It's just a natural. Amazing. Greetings, colleagues and associates. They're the same thing. That is a synonym. Straight up synonym. Thanks for subscribing, Delver. Delver. Flare. I'm going to take some challenges. Subscribers first, then guests. 1-0, I am not accepting. 5 plus 3 is the recommended time control. Alright, I know how to do this now. Oh no, Zen Chess is challenging me. Oh god. I don't want to lose again. Man, where is my game with Zen Chess? Not Zen Chess, Flare. Alright, knight f3. Was anyone else surprised? As an American chess player, I was surprised when Hikaru... I basically quit playing chess when Hikaru reached his peak. I wasn't playing it all, so I missed all of it. You know, I was not even paying attention to chess much. Between like 2009 and basically Hikaru's like prime, right? Between like 2009 and 2015, I just like didn't play chess almost, and I didn't pay attention, you know. So it was like exactly then. What is that? It was exactly then that Hikaru became like second in the world, and I never would have imagined that. It was so weird. An average grandmaster, or you know, a rapid specialist, yes. How did he get to number two in the world? It's very strange. You wrote how you didn't believe us in chat and had to check with Google. Wait, what are you talking about? Flair, what is this? You're trying to play the King's Indian attack by a weird order of moves? I had this game in a Blitz tournament 2 years ago during quarantine. I lost to Barbara Uhas, where I played A5. I played A5 in this position or something. It was like, it's the worst move ever. Bishop E3. Okay. Abdu Sattarov. You mean the Kazakh guy who won the World Rapid COVID Championship? Everybody calls him by his other name. Or he's Uzbek, sorry. Kazakh is in the news because of the governmental overthrow. He's Uzbek. I don't know much, you know. I knew of his name. It's just another talent. I mean, honestly, anybody can win a tournament, right? That's what tournaments are. They're supposed to be like up for grabs, open tournaments. Okay, this wasn't an open. It was a rapid championship, but still. People were surprised that a random guy won the tournament. Like, why? I mean, that's the nature of an open tournament. There's so many talented players. It's a different winner every time. You could have that tournament like 100 times, and you would have a different winner every single time. This is the nature of like Swiss system tournaments. It's not a match. Why should people be surprised when the first seed didn't win? Okay, like the top seeds will win slightly more than other guys, but still, you know, you're not going to get. It's not like a round robin. You're not going to get Magnus Carlsen winning every time, especially in a fast time control. It could have been Yesipinko or Dubov or any number of other people who won that tournament. I'm not surprised at all that a random entrant won the tournament. This is a very strange move. Bishop h3. A good motivation to get your bishop active, but that's an important defender. Yeah, he went back. I really want to sack a pawn here, but I don't see anything concrete. If g5 he does some kind of messy piece sacrifice, that's probably not that clear. Can f4 win a piece? I don't see it. Why did I quit? Well, I think the Scandinavian is dubious, you know. I mean, you couldn't play a more unprincipled move on the first move, right? I think it lost surprise value. I used to play knight f6 back in the day. When opening ceased to have surprise value, d5 possible? I don't know. I mean, I would play b6 to defend the c5 pawn. I think that people like try to play forcing moves too much. This sort of, the sneaky move is underrated. f4. Still can't play f4. Yeah, knight g1 is a nice close Sicilian move. I still don't have any tactics. Unbelievable. g5 now, I guess. It's embarrassing that he can play bishop h3, put his bishop back on g2, and he's still not rolled. Yeah, this is crazy. Pass the bong, man. Alright. Yeah, he just had an interesting game. You have to play f4 there. Obviously. I didn't play a weird opening, he did. I'm supposed to be playing weird openings today, but I mean, what do I do when my opponent plays like a4? You said d5. Alright, we're going to really try to play some unusual openings here. Going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. That's a different story. Just up a piece for nothing. I gotta break through though. g5, of course, he has to play. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, that's g5. He has to take on f5 now. It's not that bad. Yeah, I mean, we should say that, of course. Yeah. It's not great, but I think it's not that bad. So g4. Once against Stracek, I did like bishop takes c4 and a king's Indian attack, and I suffered for like 100 moves. It's like the worst positional move ever. I don't know what got into me. That was such a bad idea. Trade your good bishop for a knight on c4. One of the worst ideas of my life. Of course, if I'm a piece up, I can do it, but in a vacuum, it's not a good move. There's a lot of stuff you can do when you're a piece up. If you're not a piece up, it gives white like an incredible grip on the white squares. That was one of the longest games I ever played. He transferred his king all the way around to the queen side and just like squeezed me for 7 hours till I finally drew. It was like 115 moves. It was horrible. Now that's a good exchange. On the other hand, some bishops are meant to be exchanged. Yeah, Flaris hopelessly lost here. When you play against much weaker chess players, you can get away with playing bad openings. You can get away with a lot of things. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily a good idea to do them. I think the most important differentiation between playing weaker players and stronger players is that one of the hardest things to do in chess is handle like space advantage. So I think weaker players tend to overextend themselves very, very easily. So space advantage becomes tricky to take advantage of. And things like the Alekhine defense, extremely hypermodern defenses, I think are much better against weaker players. Masters understand how to play with a space advantage. It's a very like difficult skill to learn. Bjock, speaking of the hippo. Alright. No challenges other than 5+3 casual, please. I'm gonna cancel those. 1-0, 5-0, 1-0. Stop that. Alright. Stop that 1-0. 5+3 casual only. Zen chess. Alright, Zen chess is up. We'll take the Zen chess challenge. You want to master that skill. Pawn structure is very important. Understanding pawn play. Maybe the hardest thing to learn in chess. I would get some books on pawn structure. And study specific players like Botvinnik. Botvinnik may be the greatest example of a player who is very, very, very good in space advantage. He would play based on space advantage. Petrosian, maybe. The St. George, okay. Good choice. Let's do like St. George deferred. Spassky's more of an attacker, but he did play well with space advantage. But I wouldn't include Spassky in my list of space advantage players necessarily. I think of Spassky more as attacking play. Botvinnik is number 1. Yeah, I mean, but Steinitz, okay. Sure. This is a different era. I would stick with the modern players. Yeah, Miles won 2 games against Karpov, but he lost a lot. I mean, Miles had a very bad score against Karpov. He's, of course, remembered for beating him in that St. George, and he also beat him in the GF Caro-Kann. Like, the worst 2 openings. The most dubious openings Miles played against Karpov. He lost, of course, famously in the Dragon. But his score against Karpov was quite bad. Well, most people's score against Karpov was quite bad. But it's funny that he beat him twice with black. He must have lost like 9 times. I don't remember. Exactly. I got to play Miles like a number of games. And it was very, very instructive. The thing that people don't realize about Tony was, I think he was really like a technical player. I mean, he was really, really, really strong in endgame. You know, I felt like all he would do against me was like get to a simplified position and just outplay me with technique. Kind of like what I do with weaker players. I don't know about this exchange. I probably shouldn't exchange on d4. It was too early to exchange on d4. I think I had a pamphlet somewhere by Basman on this opening. Miles played it, of course. Yeah, the exchange on d4 is premature. Tony said that, like, if I could induce white to play a3, then later when I go like d5, e5, knight d7, it becomes like a French. You have a good like square to play for on c4. Here I don't have it. I wasn't able to make white play like a3. So I just don't have much counterplay. d5 feels like a threat. No, I think we're in a very precarious situation here. This was misplayed. Queen b6. d5. Yeah, I should have paid closer attention. I was talking too much, and it's a strong opponent. Zenchess is 2350. That's a good rating. Zenchess's true strength is like 2100 USCF. But he seems stronger than that, honestly, in like Blitz. There's one player I've been playing a lot recently on my streams, Uber Driver, and I think I know who it is now. I mean, it's funny. I like dismissed this a lot because he kind of denied it, but I think he's like a 2200 national master. He sort of threw me off, but I was just thinking about it in terms of it's hard to judge how strong people are on Lichess based on their ratings. Like you got Zenchess who's 2350, but his over the board rating is like 2100. And then Uber Driver who's like I think 2200, he was even 2300 over the board. And he's been very secretive about his identity again. But it's hard to judge. I think he's a national master. He's been very secretive. I just can't imagine it's anyone else. He made a weird comment the other day that intimated that I was on the right track before, who I originally thought he was. So I'm just saying, like, you could be 2200 on Lichess, and you could be like a 1900, or you could be a national master. It's hard to say. But if Uber Driver is who I think he is, he pretended he didn't know me very well, which was very deceptive, you know. Because if he's who I think he is, then he knows me very, very well. We weren't really close friends, but we knew each other extremely well, played many, many times. So he was very deceptive and a little dishonest, in a way. If he turns out to be who I think he is. Yeah, I mean, FIDE Master was a very strong title. FIDE degraded it by making the requirements easier, like 20 years ago. But it's still, you know, dude, the average national master in the US is rated 2200. Well, that's not the average. Okay, so the requirement is 2200. Yeah, I was looking at some ratings, and I saw one guy who his USCF rating is always around like 2250. He's like 2078. If Uber Driver is who I thought he is, for example, his FIDE rating is like 2050 or something. You know, it's like obscene. FIDE ratings are absurd. Like, they're all messed up, man. Nothing is accurate there. I think I have to play f6 here. Ben Feingold, eat your heart out. I have very good control of f6. Why don't you let him drive you? Yeah, well, I don't live in the United States, unfortunately. I could have. If he had offered before, I should have. Yeah, like two years ago, when I was still back in the U.S., I could have gotten a ride from Uber Driver. So the average 2200 USCF player is like 2050. FIDE. The ratings are all messed up, man. It's terrible. I mean, FIDE ratings, I'm talking about. Right. The FIDE rating system, it's an abomination. Like, it's just completely random. So I can play knight h6. Looks like it. Can't believe he just played knight h2. That's such a weird move. Creative idea, though. Yeah, I have a plan. Plans are good. Wait, you have a tactic there? Oh my god. Modify plan. Yeah, I mean, FIDE could. They should change something like a Glitco rating. Of course, that would be great. You got people who have a FIDE tournament every 8 years. You know, they basically like their strength has changed by like 1,000 points since the last time their rating moved. It's like absurd. When in doubt, oh my god, I can't believe you took that pawn now. That's so crazy. Yeah. So you had 95 early. I mean, that's one of those classic tactics that you should know. This is a very bad move. There's no way I should exchange on d4. It's just like a... I've had this position like a million times, but I haven't played it in a long time. I have to play knight c6 here. It's a very serious mistake for me to exchange on d4 right away. I mean, this is a very big mistake. Queen b6 even, or something is interesting. Anything but take on d4. This is a very bad move. takes. Knight c6 is too late. If you play a3, I have an okay position after d5, or, well, playable. So I think you have knight e5. It's kind of a classic. When I played f6, here, like, I've done this a million times. This has to be winning for white. Am I crazy? The knight e5. I've done this myself. I had a game with Mr. Slow, kind of similar. I'm not sure if he saw it. Let me see. I think 95. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it's there, man. Every time, it's like the same exact tactic. This is extremely crushing. I like can't escape from... I can't escape from... Either way you take, you're just like dead. It's a really bad situation. There's no escape from that. I was like, oh, I played really badly. All right. So who else? We've got... I'm good at escaping lost positions. Sumahair. Yo Man Chess. Play like Kasparov. When we're done, we'll play Prismatic. I'm bad with Polish. I should pronounce Polish decently. It's not that different from Hungarian sound. The K's though. Y and K and Z. Lots of Z's. Alright, Sumahair. I gotta play Sumahair first. We play the subscriber challenges first. But Prismatic is the first non-subscriber challenge. All right. Yeah, Zen Chess, you missed your killer move, but now you know about that trick, so you'll never miss it. You'll never miss it again. What are we gonna play with this guy? Weird Openings Wednesday. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you're a subscriber too. You, Delver Flips, everybody's a subscriber except for Prismatics and Jaeger. How does it go if black takes on g5? Well, you're queen h5ing me, right? In like all positions. I think I'm just like dead on queen h5. I mean, I didn't know for sure, but I assumed, and then the engine confirmed it. I'm purely basing it on intuition. I've just had that happen so many times with both colors. I know that it almost always works. So queen h5, king d8. Don't know. Thought there was something there. So we play Sumahair, I forgot. What do you play against this? You're playing just like a straight up? Kind of a straight up line. I don't often play the Budapest. I only played ever over the board when I was stoned once. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I recommend not using any cannabis while you play. Especially the Budapest Gambit should be played sober. Bishop e2, a5, queen d5, castles. My only Budapest Gambit was a terrible loss that I'll never forget. But I made an old man very happy. Yuli Kolodkin. He was like a 75-year-old 2100, and he had never beaten me a single game until I decided to play the Budapest Gambit and sacrifice a piece for nothing. The alcohol sharpens the mind, right, Asterbate? I want to play A5. What was I reading the other day? I think in an audiobook. Oops. Normally, what? A6 is not involved. No, I don't think A6 is very often played in the Budapest. I was hoping for knight e4. We'll have to ask Morales. He's our resident expert. Morales. I've played this line with white. Never been in love with it, but it's okay. I was reading an audiobook. I was listening to an audiobook, whatever. You know what I mean. No, I mean I play better after I've had a couple beers. But the thing is that eventually it catches up with you. I think it does sharpen your mind a little bit at first. And then there's like the steep drop off with drinking alcohol and playing chess. First of all, it's not good to drink too much. And secondly, it's probably like only lasting a relatively short amount of time. Cannabis just didn't have a good effect for me. Creative maybe, but too creative. Maybe it would be good for people who are really uncreative naturally, you know. If you're just a really, really boring player to begin with, maybe smoking dope is good for your chess game. I was thinking queen d7. That looks kind of obvious. There's a check on e7. Check it out, Wendy. I'm sure the cannabis has its benefits. It just never seemed good for practical play. Maybe you should smoke cannabis when you're studying chess or something. I don't know, but actually one of the most interesting experiences I ever had was when I drank tequila, like very, very good tequila, and analyzed a game. They say that tequila has a slightly, like some tequila can have a slightly sort of psychedelic effect, but it has to be, very, very good level. I don't know, it definitely had an effect. try LSD. I don't want to like permanently damage my brain. The worm. The worm is psychedelic. Sumihara got, he just like leaped without looking. I mean, it's typical. Now, normal tequila doesn't have worms in it, right? Isn't that just like mezcal? Isn't it just the mezcal they have worms in? Yeah, Sumihara here just played without thinking. When I played Queen D7, I mean, I'm threatening this very blatant attack. And obviously, if Knight F4, my intention was to play G5, but I don't know if this is good or not. Now you can probably force an exchange of queens. Takes. It looks like white is okay. It looks like it's balanced. Where did we leave book, though? 95? Wow. Strangely, this has never been played before. So up until move 12 is Argentina, baby. Oh, I see. What did I do? I played rook a6 prematurely. It's a number 2 move according to the engine. Now it dropped down. I'm supposed to play rook e8 first. So I accelerated this rook a6 idea. Of course, d6 is like safe. So rook e8 is the main move. And there's tons of games. So accelerated rook a6. You have queen d5, forcing me to play d6, which embarrasses my rook. I think I've probably done that with white before. Thanks, Pjock, for sending in a game. Put you on the list for tomorrow night. Alright. Anyway, interesting. Prismatic. Yo man chess. Yo man. We've got to play fun openings. Guys, please support the stream and donate if you can. I'd like to get some gift subs. Help me keep doing this. The best tournament that I've ever played in was 1950. A waiter came to you during the game and you could order anything you want. Even some vodka. This was Spassky. No, man, I mean, I'm sure that like having like one vodka during the game can't hurt you. You know, it's probably good for your brain. Stimulate the neurons. I am not a medical doctor or licensed to recommend medicinal treatments. Disclaimer. Let's try something different. We go into a kind of Wade defense here. I mean, Grishuk, I don't know how much he drinks. I mean, he's Russian, so it's like... Once I was really, really wasted, and I played pool with Grishuk, I can barely remember. He wasn't drinking a lot, though. I didn't think he was necessarily a big drinker. I don't know, though. You know, when people get older, they change. That was a long time ago. It was back in, like... We were in Moscow. It was, like, 2004. He was totally sober. No, I don't think he could be, like... I don't think he'd be that good and be, like, a heavy drinker. Yeah, but he does kind of look a little strung out. What am I doing? E3 is a very safe move by white here. I can barely remember. I think we were playing pool like 2-on-2, and Grishuk was on the other team. But I could barely. I mean, I could barely even remember what happened. I was way too drunk. All right. It was this like big hotel in Moscow, and I would keep getting lost because the hotel was so big. Like Hotel Cosmos or something. I don't remember. I literally got lost in the hotel. Like one round, I almost like didn't make it to the board. Takachi, I was drinking a lot. I remember that, and he like literally like didn't show up to one of his games. They couldn't wake him up or something. He's a legendary drinker. I don't know about Grishuk. I just don't want to play in tournaments where I get lost in the hotel. That's serious. It was a serious effort to like find my way to the board in the morning. It's like bad enough if you have a hangover, but then you can't even like find the playing hall. Even sober, it wasn't easy to find the playing hall. Should we play bishop e4? I know they do that in this kind of variations. Maybe we'll give you both bishops. It's counterintuitive. I mean, this is my good bishop, and normally I wouldn't want to trade it off. Okay, so how do you want to play this? Queen a5. Knight takes is extremely solid. Knight takes looks decent. I mean, he doesn't want to end up with his king in the center, but he does have e4 here. I guess I misplayed this. I should play queen a5 first. There he has e4 too, though. Yeah, maybe this is still slightly better for white. He has e4. Okay, I can take and play queen a5. That's interesting. So maybe I'm fine here. White could even be a little overextended. You lost to several 1200s. 1200s, like, in India, are basically 2200 on average. The stereotypes about Slavs and Vodka, it's not just, well, okay, Finland as well. But they're neighbors. Neighbors with Russia. Alright, so I have takes and queen a5. You could play a3 here. Yeah, I mean, in Poland has to be one of the biggest vodka drinking countries in the world. But they produce vodka. Finland, Russia, Poland. Never buy Finnish vodka for a Russian. They didn't appreciate that. Once I had to get a present for a Russian Ukrainian friend of mine, and I went in the store and they only had Finlandia. He wasn't appreciative of that. That's a major social faux pas. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess Russia, of course. All right, so now we've got a5. What I've been trying to emphasize to people is learning to be patient and look for quiet moves. I think that's the key to being a strong player. This is a blunder. He tricked himself. People tend to look for forcing moves because we're trained to study tactics and told to look for forcing moves. But a lot of people seem to take it too literally, and they don't look enough for quiet moves. The secrets to being a strong player are like quiet moves and pawn play. I think the most important concepts that are kind of underrated. See, there again, like Yeoman Chess being a very quick move. Yesterday I had a training game with a player, and what I noticed was, it's funny, like some people take a lot of time on some of their moves and then they'll just like make other arbitrary moves like instantly. Like think about your game and look at your games and analyze your time use. You know, why are you, let's say, why are you spending no time on this move and then like tons of time on another move? Yeah, it's an abomination. I actually have a funny story with vodka. I'd never really gotten drunk when I was in high school, um, which was kind of unusual for an American high school kid. And my friends were pretty well behaved. And when I graduated from high school, we went on this like student exchange program to Russia. And the people, they didn't have, they wanted to give you like a present when you left this family you were staying with. But what do you give for a present to like a 17 or 18-year-old kid? And they didn't have much money, so all they had was like vodka. So they would like give me vodka because it was like legal to drink there. I got a bottle of vodka and then shared it with my friends, and I got so drunk on vodka that it was like a nightmare experience. I almost probably got like alcohol poisoning, but I couldn't drink vodka like for 20 years, literally. Between the ages of like 17 and 35, like I never drank a sip of vodka, any other kind of alcohol. I couldn't drink it. It was like bringing back this memory. Um, the first time I was ever drunk. But it's actually something I would prefer to a lot of other drinks nowadays, because it's more pure and it doesn't give you as bad of a hangover as a lot of other kind of alcohols. Like whiskey will give you a much worse hangover. Clear alcohol is safer in that respect. As you get older, you're like thinking more about how bad is my hangover going to be the next day. Vodka's not such a bad choice. Man, don't drink like Hungarian things. Like Palinka is the worst. We have another alcohol called Unicum. That's brutal. It's like medicine. Much safer to drink vodka. Alright, Yeoman Chess is down too many pawns here. It was basically a Slav by transposition. You know, eventually I'll play d5 there. Slav strategy. Tomorrow night I'm hosting an analysis stream for our subscribers. Please tune in. Don't forget to subscribe and donate to support the stream if you can. Appreciate If you have not yet subscribed, please try it. You'll like it. Stalemate is a strong possibility. He's going to be forced to give up his rook. All right. So, next game. Play like Kasparov. I've got a rated challenge. Oops, we lost him. Rated is no good. 15-second chess. Prismatic, come back. Play like Kasparov. You already accepted. You have accepted. Dude, what is up here? Where's Delver's challenge? Alright, what are we gonna do? Let's try something we never play. Trompowsky. It's not really a weird opening by contemporary standards, but I don't play the Trompowsky. This is the line that I recommend for black, by the way. I play d5. It's funny, I play g takes f. It's more dynamic than e takes f. E takes f is very solid. This is the old way. Like the old kind of main line. One of the old main lines. I mean, e takes f is very, very solid for black. But I don't think it's as dynamic as taking toward the center. It's fine, of course. I don't know any theory much in this variation. But I think this break is important for white. Queen b3. I don't know, this move looks a little artificial. But obviously like queen a5, a3. Bishop takes c3, queen takes c3. We have a slightly better endgame with no risk. I don't think bishop f5 is right. You know, you're supposed to play... I think you're supposed to play d takes c and bishop d6 or something. D takes c, bishop takes c4, bishop d6 with the idea of castles. Play like Kasparov. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has any real great justification for giving me the bishop back. I mean, you've doubled your pawns, and it's a slight structural advantage for white. And now black like has compensation with the bishop pair, but gives it away. Now he has a bad structure. Although I don't know about taking on b5. Gives his knight a good square at c6. Now his knight has no square currently. Square situation is looking kind of dubious for black. cd5, cd5, knight f3, knight c6. And still, his position isn't that bad. Asterbate triggering the Thursday analysis stream description. Guys, I gotta leave at 1:15. Don't let me forget. It's now 12:40. So we have time. Okay, this is not an option. I don't want to take his knight. But it is on a bad square. I mean, it's an option, but it's a bad option to take that. Be a very bad decision. Knight bad. However, it is possible to take. Now I have a weakness here, which compensates for his weakness on d5. Well, we also have protected passed pawn now. We're about to have a protected passed pawn. I should correct myself. It's a position that maybe Jose Raul would like. Simple and better for white. Nothing fancy. We're going to castle. We're planning on castling, but I'm a little bit worried now. Yes. Now, Prem is good tactically. This is a little bit scary. So if I castle, he takes, I take, he plays queen h3, and it's like bishop e2 is forced. It's probably okay for me. I'm not sure I have another option, honestly. Please support the stream and subscribe. This week we have gift subs from Universitate and Asterbate. Jim, Mr. Coffee donated bits. Thank you, everybody. So queen h3, bishop e2. He played queen f5 instead. And it gives me the additional option of king g2. Doesn't really change things in the grand scheme, I don't think. Well, now I have queen b5, but my king is actually relatively safe here. b7 is just hanging. Is he losing a knight? He's almost losing a knight. Where's your knight gonna go? Why didn't I take on b7 earlier? Well, I mean, like, when? I could have taken there. That's true. Yeah, I could have taken on the previous move. Yeah. Well, I was concerned about f3. Yeah, I could have taken it. You're right. I'm usually cautious about grabbing material. That was too cautious. I should have taken it on the previous move. So take queen f5. Yeah, I could just take. It was fine. GM Orestovich. Here we are, current position, queen takes b7. His knight is hanging. The only way to protect it is queen a5. Then I play queen b5 and force an ending into a hopeless situation for black. If you want to look at the analysis board, like quickly, what he did wrong in the opening. C6 is normal. When I play C4, see, this is unusual. It's not clear what this does. He's supposed to take, bishop takes C4, even I know this, and then bishop D6. And black at some point can play like F5 to try to control the center. But white has a strong pawn on D4. Alright. So we lost. There's a rated challenge. No rated. Feels like we're losing challengers here. Chessmaster, Orest. And now how did Thomas get there? Thomas jumped in front. No cutting line. Wait, what happened here? I can't find the game. We're playing unusual openings today. Asterbate, what are you saying? What are you trying to say? Prismatics is back. Just been disconnected. Just C3. The London system is illegal. Here after 2 weeks. You request to join the team. Are you sure? There it is. You missed our tournament yesterday. We have tournaments on Tuesdays. Alright, so normally I would play G6 here. There aren't that many options to try to be creative in this position. But let's try to be creative anyway. Preventing the London system. He's trying to play bishop f4 anyway. Maybe. Certainly reasonable move. Okay. I knew you wanted to try to play the London. When people play c3 on move 2 here, it's usually the case. Who am I supporting? Who am I rooting for in the Tata steel? I don't really have any preference. I guess I have players who I don't really like. I don't know. I have no real favorite. I haven't followed. Is Aronyan playing? I can't remember. I haven't followed the games. I've seen like 3 games from Tata this year. Thus far. No, I like Levon as a person and as a chess player too. But I haven't seen him in years. I don't really know the younger players well. I don't root for people based on like their nationality either. I don't like Sam Shanklin particularly. Um, I'm not going to root for people because they're like American or whatever. Based on their styles and if I like them as offers a draw. Dude, white is clearly worse here. I have e5, e4, e3. Is it just winning a piece? I'm just winning a piece, right? Oof. I'm not winning a piece. I don't know, that bishop doesn't have a lot of retreat squares. We just keep rolling. Maybe we are winning a piece. It's still not winning a piece. But it's good enough. We have like total domination of the center. I don't know too much about Vidit. He resigned. Okay, Sumo Mitra. Is Hari Krishna playing? I know that the two Indians, Vidit and Pragnanha, are playing. Hari Krishna's not in the tournament. Did he lose rating points or something? Did he drop down like under 2,700? Oh, there's another new guy, Arjun. I know that Vidit is quite strong. Yeah. Pragnanha is still very young. He's not really like mature enough for the A group to be a serious threat. Alright, we've got Prismatic. Has been waiting a long time to play. Let's take his challenge. I've got time for like 1 or 2 more games. What happened to GM Orest? Oh, he's still there. He's Orest Tachenko. I've got to take the challenges from subscribers first. So if there's any subscriber in the list, they get favoritism. Sumo Mitra, I don't know if he's a subscriber, though. Go e4. Alright, we'll go e4. But I'm not making any other promises. Yeah, I mean, Grandelius played horribly in another game. I don't know, he seems a little overrated, honestly. A lot of people are overrated. Who was it? Ropport versus Grandelius. It was like... Ropport won 2 games already. Yeah, I guess I have to root for Richie. Since I'm a Hungarian resident. But I have nothing against Richard. You know, the nice thing about Ropport, he's very creative. Didn't Ropport win 2? Vidit is leading with 2.5. Wow. Ropport won 2 games already, so he must have lost 1 at least. Well, that's like likely. I've been playing this against the Scandinavian. E4, D5, E takes D5, Queen takes D5, Knight E2. Yeah, Ropport is most likely to like win and lose a lot of games. Knight E2, like no one plays against the Queen D5 Scandinavian. It's strange though, it's not such a bad move. No, I'm not really impressed by Grandelius. He seems overrated. I don't know. Geary. You know, I think some players play too much too. Don't they? Is it my imagination or does like Geary play in every single tournament? Maybe he's just like burned out, man. How much does Geary play? It's like ridiculous. He seems like he's playing a tournament every day. He plays in everything. In the old days, like top players didn't play more than like 6 or 7 tournaments a year unless it was like Ivanchuk. Only Ivanchuk would do that, and he would like lose all his rating points half the time. You need to take time out sometimes to kind of like refresh. Feels like Geary plays an awful lot. So maybe Rockport is like 2.5. Duda is very strong now. I mean, Black's position seems reasonable. I'm just trying to be creative. Yeah, I mean, Shankland, I mean, not because I don't like him personally, but he seems like he's all about like memorization. I was talking about this with someone yesterday. Shankland seems to go, he plays badly in like simple positions. If you just like stay away from his opening preparation. With Shankland, it's like get an equal position and he'll just like make some stupid moves and lose in a totally equal game. At least I've seen a pattern of that happening. Massively memorization oriented to an extreme. Dubov is playing some crazy stuff. Dubov lost against... did Dubov lose against Carlsen? No, I'm thinking of an old game. Dubov gambles and takes opening risks playing weird openings and stuff. He's very creative. Not as crazy as Rapport, but yeah, I like Dubov. I like Dubov, Rapport, Aronian. Aronian's just a great player. I mean, incorrect. At least it's nice that there's like a real chess tournament. It's not like Rapid. I don't know. I couldn't handle like another year of Magnus Carlsen Rapid tournaments. Are we just winning a piece with D5? Magnus Carlsen's 20th online Rapid tournament in a row. Exciting. Rather Rapid than Blitz. Well, sure. Blitz is sort of just not serious chess. It's just for fun. It's supposed to be just for fun. I mean, I hope chess doesn't degenerate to the point where we're like getting prizes for bullet tournaments and stuff like that. See, the problem is like you can't have chess tournaments online, and that's why bullet became popular. To avoid computers. The only solution against computers is to make it like 1-minute chess so that people can't cheat, but it destroys chess, so it's just no longer chess. Of course it's not possible to cheat. It's another game. You're not playing chess anymore. You just can't play chess online. But then again, you can't play ice hockey online either, you know. So who cares? Let's keep chess over the board real chess. It's like a physical sport. You can't play virtual physical sports. I mean, not really. Why does chess have to be played online? Participating for a big tournament was my favorite cheesesteak place in Philly. I am not from inside of Philadelphia. I mean, I actually grew up in the suburbs. But I imagine like there's lots of good cheesesteak places in South Philly. There's a neighborhood in Philadelphia named after my family, but I'm a later generation. It's like a really bad neighborhood now. I can't recommend a cheesesteak place offhand. Did you see the Queen Sack of Wax Wonderman? You mean Richie Rich, or what is his name? What's the kid from Silver Spoons? That's really old. Nobody here is going to remember that. Oh, what's his name now? The right wing actor who paid for Kyle Rittenhouse's like legal defense fund. Yeah, but he reminds me of this guy. Acerbate would know. Ricky Schroeder, otherwise known as Ricky Schroeder. I'm just so sad to see all the bullet games being played by popular Twitch streamers. Yeah, man, I mean, but what are you gonna do? The average audience is like 12-year-old boys. I mean, you're either interested in pretty girls or playing bullet chess. The audience doesn't consist of like serious chess players, unfortunately, so much. I've got to get like a sex change, get 20 years younger, and start playing bullet chess, and I'll have a serious audience. That's my only chance. Orestachenko. I didn't look at any of the games from the B and C tournaments. I've never even been to Wikensee. Orestachenko's been waiting forever to play. Yeah, I mean, you have to wait in line. That's the way it works, Mayur. I mean, I can't take you ahead of the other people that were waiting in front of you. Unless you bribe me. I should do like simul. I could take simul challenge. Maybe I'll have to do that. Like, alright, I'm not going to play that. Simultaneous. I don't know, he's not your account, Repun? The electronic dance music, yeah. I mean, I like that better than pop, actually. I'll take electronic dance music, like, anytime, like, over, I don't know, Britney Spears or something. It's much better than just most pop music. Can you take Simul after this game? No, I was just kidding about the Simul. There was a rumor you had multiple accounts, Repun. And you've played up to 10 games in the same stream. I'm just teasing you. Alright. I mean, obviously, like, the gambit is dubious. I'm basically trying to play like an Albin, but he's not played c5, so it's not as good as a normal Albin. Normally when you play the Black Mardimer, I mean, it's not sound, but the idea is to play like knight c3 and f3. But I'm trying to play something a little different. So this is creative. Being creative. I do simuls on Sundays, but not today. I have to go to work. This is just what I do for fun. This is not really work. Knight takes f5. I expected bishop g6. I mean, maybe I should take it and try to break his pawn structure later, but no, Dubov is impressive. You know what's interesting about Dubov was the fact that he hasn't really been a household name, but yesterday I was noticing that I noticed him fairly early on, but he's been 2600 since like 2013. I mean, Dubov is fairly young, but he literally has been 2600 almost 10 years. That's crazy. You know, he still seems like a very young player, but he's literally been over 2600 since 2013. I mean, that's a long time. He's not that young anymore. He's basically like a middle-aged player. Can you do Puzzle Race? I've never done Puzzle Racer. I hate puzzles in general. I mean, I'm just not a fan of it. But I'll include that in my plan to get a sex change and listen to electronic dance music. No, pop. I don't even know, like, pop musicians. We'll listen to Ariana Grande or something. What would be popular with the teenage crew? I'm so out of touch. No, I never liked pop music of any generation. The problem with streamers listening to music is like nobody can like the no one will ever, nobody will all be happy no matter what you listen to. You're gonna like offend someone. Everyone has different. Eminem is pop, man. I don't know. Wonder if Eminem would be offended by that. It's funny about Eminem. I really hated Eminem at first. You know, but it kind of grew on me. I don't dislike Eminem. You have to kind of get used to it. He sort of like changed rap music. Everyone seems to imitate Eminem, though, you know? I mean, he had a huge influence. I don't know if people still listen to him. But he clearly influenced music, like, incredibly. Oristachenko is really solid, man. I've been nervous about this, like, undefended bishop for a long time. Wow, alright, now we're talking. Now we're thinking about stuff. So Oristachenko's only weakness is tactics, it looks like. Take, take, take. Take, 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 not that clear. Take, take, take. Bishop c4 is interesting. Bishop d3. I mean, h6 is a move that I would like criticize one of my students for asking for it. So if I take, 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 you play that, I play that, you play that, I play that. You play that, I play that. I guess we go for it. You just don't touch the pawns around your king when the opponent has attacking potential. h6 is a really, really, really dangerous move. We're just winning now. Or no. Pretty much. Yeah, he basically like lost the game in one move after playing so solidly. I was getting kind of frustrated. The point when he played h6. Maybe he should try to take it though, objectively. I don't know that it was that clear. If you analyze this, takes, takes, bishop f8, rook g1 check, knight g4, queen h5, knight df6, queen f5, queen d7, queen d7, rook takes g4 check, queen c8 maybe. I'm not sure that he's necessarily losing that easily there. You could also just ignore h6. I wasn't sure. See, he like puts his knight on h7, but you're probably right. He could put one knight on h7 and the other one on f8 and like block the h file. But I have moves like bishop c4. I mean, probably, yeah. It's probably too dangerous to take on h6. I wasn't sure. Elijah. Oh no, that wasn't Elijah. It was QZ EU who said that. Yeah, probably it doesn't work. I was lazy to calculate it out. I did a lot of calculation though. I mean, I'm not just sitting here like spacing out. I just don't say all the moves I'm thinking. But basically I spend my time calculating force variations. If you took what? If you took your bishop and you took with the pawn, could you just mate him? Well, no, I mean, he's got knight f8. I mean, that's the point. Knight df8, and then it's not so easy. I have to incorporate some kind of like bishop c4, g6. It's actually a little bit complicated. But yeah, it's probably good for white. Sorry, he's still thinking here on h5. But he's getting his kingside opened up. Seriously, this is an incredibly dangerous situation. I can't imagine that black could survive this. Not in the long run, anyway. Oh my god. Did I just blunder? Holy. I didn't see that at all. But unfortunately for him, I doubt he can hold this together. Can he? Wow. Incredible. He's actually going to hold this together? It's weird. I found a way to screw this up. It's unbelievable. And he saw that too? Wow. That's pretty incredible. the way he defended this. He saw he had to sack his queen in that position. That's unbelievable. 99 out of 100 people would have missed that. I was threatening queen h7, mate. Resignable? 10. Why? Resignable for who? Well, if you add up the material, I mean, it's not about how many pieces you have. I have a lot of pawns. I mean, I'm lost, yes, but resignable? I don't think so. It's far too complicated for that. It's not that easy to coordinate, you know, these pieces. I mean, what's the material here? After here, take, here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 3 pawns and a queen. 3 pawns and a queen for 2 rooks, a knight, and a bishop. So that's 10, 16. 3 pawns and a queen is like 12. I'm down 4 points of material. It's like being down a piece, a little more than a piece. But I would never resign in a blitz game in this position. I mean, it's too easy for black to mess it up. You know, he's got to keep all his pieces defended. I got to go, guys. Thanks, everyone, for playing. We're going to be back tomorrow night with a game analysis stream for our subscribers. So if you are a subscriber, like Sumaher, Astrobate, please remember to submit your games. I got to go. I got to go to work. I will see you guys later. Thanks for playing. Don't forget to subscribe.